All right, everybody. Let's say thanks for sorry for the delay. Thanks for your patience. So we are getting ready to do the March Art Madness. Now I have put forth a new bracket. I'll be explaining it here shortly, and mainly this is to really kind of run through some of the rules and talk about the various things that we're looking to do with March Art Madness. So again, my name is Frederick Jones, and this is Saturday AM. If you guys are not familiar with Saturday AM, we are a digital manga anthology. We're an entertainment company called My Footprint Entertainment, focused on essentially bringing kind of the global style of manga and anime closer to the reality of the more global sort of standpoint or viewpoint, where we have more diverse characters, and we have more diverse creators, and we have more ideas and themes that are in line with people from around the world. I've made it very clear in the past, if you've seen any of the videos, that I've always kind of rejected the idea that manga has to look a certain way. And this is a sentiment that seems very popular with even some African American and or Caucasian American participants in the world of anime manga. And it's something that I just reject as being silly from the get-go. I think that manga and anime from Japan are as prolific and are as popular as Hollywood movies. And if we can put pressure on the United States of America and Western culture and England and the Oscars and TV and movies that come from the West to be more diverse and reflect a more diverse worldview, then we can absolutely do the same thing with the Japanese when it comes to manga and anime. We should all be held to a higher standard. And so we've approached this with the creation of Saturday AM, which is our big brand. It is a digital manga anthology that features major characters from around the world. What you see here on top of the list are some really exciting brands that we publish all exclusively. Starting from the left, you have Andrea Voros, a young lady from Hungary. This is her creation called Saigami. Next to her, the young man with his finger kind of waving to say, come on and let's fight. That is by an American named Raymond Brown. It's called Bully Eater, and it's a very, very popular series. Above him is a young man who is waving these kind of energy batons, these cursed batons, and he's one of our new heroes. He represents a manga series that we have called Monster Society of America, and that is created by myself, Frederick L. Jones, the publisher and founder of Saturday AM, and that's featuring the amazing artwork by Christopher Crady. Opposite this character, Anthony, at the top, is a female character. She is waving a kind of energy sword. Her name is Serenity, and she is a member of the manga called No to Heaven. That is another series created by me, featuring artwork by the very incredible William Brody. This is a horror series that we're very proud of. And Anthony, the character that you see on the left with the energy batons, is Mexican-American. And Serenity there, as you see at the top right, is Dominican-American. Underneath her is a Cuban character named Turbino. He represents a series called Islanders, which is a very popular series from a creator named Leonardo Massa. And then finally is the super popular Apple Black. That is a character named Sano from the series. And the series is created by Nigerian Odunze Agogo, aka White Manga. So we are Saturday AM. We actually are a publishing house that consists of nearly 30-some creators of various productions throughout the Saturday AM landscape. We make Saturday AM the digital magazine. We also have exclusive webcomics that are on our website, and we publish an extra magazine called Saturday Plus, which features all original properties that are developed specifically for Saturday AM. Some of the titles you see up here at the top were created specifically for Saturday AM, and some were not. But this is our collective, much like Shueisha's Shonen Jump, Marvel's superhero characters or DC superhero characters. All of our titles, we always pride ourselves on the fact that all of our titles are exclusive. They represent a core aspect of who we are as creators. So this is Saturday AM, and as I indicated before, Pilot Manga is what you see listed here. Pilot Manga is our exclusive community that we developed specifically to handle the influx of people coming from around the world, whether it's from Europe or Africa, Asia, parts of far Asia, as well as Latin America, of course, all of the United States and the United Kingdom, of individuals who were trying to get us to publish their books. And we wanted to find a cooler and more transparent way to do so. And so we did that with the creation of Pilot Manga, and it's really taken off. It's become almost as significant a brand as Saturday AM. And essentially, it's a community where creators, you don't just go to talk about, how awesome their artwork is or to showcase an idea for a series, but it's really it's a destination for serious creators to go and be challenged with their ideas, to be challenged with their creativity and their commitment to the art form, and through that process create stunning new series that no one's ever seen before. And we hope, of course, that they create it for us, because it is a submissions group, but at the same time, the experiences that many of the creators walk away with are the sort of experiences that they're able to actually take and work with for quite some time, whether it's with us or with someone else. So we're really proud of that. And one of the core aspects of Pilot Manga is something called Test Flight. And Test Flight, we just had an event just recently that wrapped. It was huge. We had there's a 4-hour video if you saw it on our YouTube channel. It generated nearly 1,000 views for a 4-hour video. I mean, it's stunning, really. And it just goes to show again that while we pride ourselves on doing things our way and not like other webcomic companies or digital magazines, which sometimes makes us seem like we always have to constantly be at odds with other people, or at least it feels that way, because I don't think we nearly get the sort of credit that we deserve for the work that we do. But nonetheless, we do pride ourselves on being able to be original and to try to think of ways that just make sense for the creative soul. We want to try to make things as challenging for the creator as possible, because at the end of the day, that's the only way you grow. And if we can assist a creator in discovering not just their technical abilities, but to actually develop their cognitive abilities, to be able to actually determine and decipher the most effective and efficient ways to generate popularity, awareness of their properties, as well as to monetize what they do, then that's all we can ask for. Because if the industry for webcomics and digital comics becomes more serious and more respected, then we all win. And so that's kind of our viewpoint from the beginning. So we do things very differently, and Test Flight is just a perfect example that we don't hide how we submit, how properties are submitted to us. We don't hide that process. We publicize it, we make it available on video, and it's become so incredibly popular, and we're really proud of that. When we started thinking about another sort of contest we could do that could challenge creators, we came up with, I'm a huge sports fan, I'm a UNC Chapel Hill alumni, and I love March Madness. In America, it's like the FA Cup is, and in England, it's like the Champions League is in all of Europe. It's like the Copa Libertadores in Latin America. It's huge. It's like the World Cup. I mean, it's huge. And March Madness is where the NCAA, all the collegiate basketball programs in the United States, which are literally hundreds of schools, come together in 64-team bracket, the best schools, and they compete for the actual moniker of champion, national champion. And so all these programs, they kind of are very significant in their own right. My school, UNC, is one of the biggest programs in the country. A brand is famous around the world thanks to Michael Jordan. And UNC, our big rival, is Duke University. And, it's a big deal for them just to win their conference, which is called the ACC. But then the big deal is to go into March Madness, which is the NCAA, and see if you can compete not just against, the teams around you like Duke and NC State and Wake Forest and stuff, but the big colleges that exist in other parts of the country, such as Kentucky or Kansas or Michigan State, so on and so forth. So I really love this idea. And I thought, I see so many creators, even some creators who used to be with Saturday AM, kind of priding themselves on drawing like Spider-Man, from Civil War, Black Panther, just kind of having fun, just drawing stuff. And I kept thinking, I'm like, well, what would be really fun, though, because I see them competing in kind of a fun way. But what would be really fun is to actually compete in a more relevant way, in a way that actually tested your abilities, tested your ability to get things done, or your efficiency level, if you can get things done if you can turn it pretty quickly, but also produce something really thought-provoking and unique, and not just like, hey, look, here's me drawing the exact same image of Black Panther from the trailer, or the exact same image of Spider-Man from the trailer, but here's me actually taking that idea and adding something to it that makes you actually, get a smile on your face, or go, oh wow, I never thought of it like that, or something like that. So we wanted to challenge everything about the creative spirit, which is ingenuity and pressure in terms of times and deadlines, technical skills in terms of being able to use different devices, whether it's Copic markers or digital color, and just really kind of pull all that together in a contest that in many ways felt like a March Madness contest. And so as we started putting all this together, we developed March Art Madness. It's something I wanted to do last year and finally was able to pull together this year. So we've had tremendous interest and outreach from people from around the country and online. And so we have now put this together, and therefore we now have the March Art Madness. I don't know if we're going to call it the MAMS or the Mammy Awards or whatever we call it, but we hope this will be an annual contest. And one of the key things that will happen is that individuals will receive not individuals, but the winner will receive $50 in US dollars that will distribute via PayPal. So that's significant because, a lot of, again, Facebook, like I said, there's so many artists that I see who have a field day kind of riffing with each other, like, oh, hey, I'm gonna draw this awesome picture of Spider-Man, and someone else draw this picture of Spider-Man. And it's really neat and fun to watch, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything for anyone else. This kind of puts some stakes to it, and we hope that this can become really successful and really kind of bring some more notoriety and popularity to what we all love, which is just really inventive, creative, artistic ability. And so, again, us being Saturday AM, this is what we do. And so we put this contest together, and it's going to start officially today, sort of, but it will run, as you see here, from March 16th to 31st. It actually runs from the 17th until April 1st, and I'll go into the bracket breakdowns. I will also go into the lineups as to which artists are competing with which artists. But before I do that, I want to say a couple of things. Number one, I do want to make it clear that this is going to be a short video. It should finish up about 3 o'clock. It's 2:38 right now, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you have questions about this process, please contact us. If you have questions about this contest, please contact us. We have to know so we can answer those questions, because once we kind of get rolling, while there may be some things that we update from the standpoint of the rules, for the most part, we expect to be able to just kind of push right through the work that we've got. And because it's going to be a lot of work over the next 2 weeks to try to get all the stuff in and get it set up and get people to go through the process so someone can be crowned a winner and win $50. And of course, again, we hope that number's financially is much bigger next year. This is our first year doing it. So if you have questions, you can contact me in 3 ways. If you have Google Hangout and you actually have the actual Hangout application via the Chrome browser, that means that when you select Hangouts, it actually opens up a big window. And the window that Hangouts is in has a button, and that button allows you to actually select a group chat. So in that group chat, in that Q&A chat, you can actually post questions, and we will see the questions, we'll be able to answer them. That's one way. There's also an open chat function in there. You can select that, we'll see that, and I can answer those questions. A second way is if you are a fan of ours on Facebook, then you can absolutely go to Saturday AM Facebook fan page and post a comment there. We've got a couple of locations where you can do so. I'll be notified immediately on my iPhone or my iPad, which I've got sitting right here next to me. So you can do those things, and we'll be in a position to actually, be able to answer the questions in real time, live. Last but not least, if you are a member of our Pilot Manga group, which is a huge part of what we do, then you can post something inside of the Pilot Manga group, and I will respond to it right then and there. So again, my name is Frederick Jones. This is Saturday AM, and this is a contest put on by our Pilot Manga group and initiative, which is for our ability to handle submissions of original content, brand new creators, and bring them into the Saturday AM publishing empire. So we're very excited about this brand new contest we have called March Art Madness. If anyone can think of a really cool short name for it, like the like I said, the mams or the marks or the mammies or whatever you can come up with, I'll give you a free subscription. I would love to have a cool name for this. So so let's get into the rules. And again, if there are any questions from there, I'm certainly happy to answer those questions. Okay, but let's go ahead and navigate this with the rules. And so bear with me just a moment. I'm gonna get everything set up here so that we can actually go through the rules here. And you can see this is actually a blog page where I've got the rules posted, and I'll show you where everything is located on the site so you can reference these things in the future without worrying about anything. You see here a really cool GIF I found to try to populate blog posts, because a lot of you young guys on the internet don't like to read. You like pictures, you like a lot of pictures. So I found a cool GIF here of Naruto by, I assume, Kishimoto, and I thought I would use this because this is a contest, and what we do is all about art. So the rules are here. These are updated rules. These are the final rules. Again, this being our first year, we may see some things that we think, you know what, we need, this is something we might need to fix. So we may see some things that we decide to tweak during the contest. If so, we will certainly notify and let everyone know about these things. But for the most part, these are the rules as they would stand. So let's see here. We are now. So rule number one is, you're going to sign up by 11:59 p.m. Well, that's already happened. We had a tremendous outpouring of individuals who wanted to participate. We did turn a few people away, and we did have some people who dropped out, and we replaced them. So we do have, at this point, rule number one is done. Should there be a scenario where some other people fall out before we actually begin the first round, then we may tap into individuals who contact us and say, hey, you know what, I just not hearing about this. I'd love to be a part of it. We may actually have a chance to slide you in because, again, it's happened where, unfortunately in this world, with webcomics, one of the reasons webcomics haven't gotten quite to that level yet is that, the ability of trying to determine whether or not something really works for you is something that is very difficult for people who've never per se had a corporate job or had a real experience, an artistic sense, so it's very much a hobbyist sort of industry currently, and it's something that we hope to change. But one of the drawbacks of that, and we see it all the time, are that a lot of the younger people who get to participate in Saturday AM or want to say Saturday AM when they go through test flights or pilot manga, is they tend to overpromise and underdeliver. So, so again, we understand that something might pop up and people are like, wait a minute, I can't do this. This is a commitment level. So if you do it, if you want to win that $50, you're going to have to commit over the next couple of weeks. It's all about testing yourself, and it should be fun, but it should also be work. Otherwise, it's not worth it, right? So, so we are completed. But again, if you really desperately want to get in on this, contact us. You can do so by sending us an email, am.com, and let us know that you would desperately like to be a part of this. And again, should we have someone drop out before the first round, then we will see about sliding another individual into that spot. Number two. Only artists may apply. And this has been made very clear. We are not worried about whether or not your talent level is supreme or anything of that nature, but we do firmly want to have artists. We don't want to have people here who draw stick figures or, they're artists in their mind, but not in the way they draw pictures. So only artists may apply, not writers, not letterers, not colorists, not graphic designers, even just actual artists, people who actually draw, enjoy drawing, can draw, things of that nature. If we select you for this particular competition and tournament, you will need to verify your existence. So what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, we expect you to have a Facebook profile. So so 90% of the individuals who contacted us have a Facebook profile, but a good, let's say 30% of the folks who contacted us who have a Facebook profile do not have artwork associated with it. We will need to have verified that you are indeed you, and or that you actually have content, because as I will explain later, we certainly know that this competition could be set up for people who want to cheat the system or cheat another artist. And so we want to make sure that we take the most steps possible to ensure that creators do not do that they do not cheat, and that they do not harm someone else's artistic work. Number four, the competition will have a maximum of 64 artists. Now, I can say that we do not have a maximum of 64 artists. We had an amazing turnout. We thought we maybe get 5 or 10 people, but we actually went way above that. So we capped it at 48 people. So we currently have 48 people. And as it says here again, if you're someone who maybe is thinking about, hey, you know what, I really want to be a part of this, to be clear, this is based off a combination of talent level and accomplishments. That we're looking for basically that you've actually tried to do something like this before, in the sense of you've created webcomics, you've done fan art. We need to see something. We need to know there's some level of that. And it's not a shock that the vast majority of people who joined this tournament that we put in this tournament came from Pilot Manga. So again, if you were selected and you're not a member of Pilot Manga, then we will expect you to give us some information about you that demonstrates that you're real and that you actually are an artist. But the field right now currently is capped at 48. Number 5, the way the tournament will work is very much like a typical sports tournament, meaning that this is artist versus artist. This is not artist versus the world. This is artist versus artist, and they will continue to whittle down until we get the best artist versus the best artist to choose the ultimate artist. And so that is what makes this particular competition so unique. Again, I see people all the time, doing things where they're like sharing things with each other and so on and so forth. Here's my version of, this cartoon character. Here's my version of Spider-Man or whatever. And, but again, there's really no stakes into it, right? Just kind of that kind of cutesy rivalry and so forth, but there's no real stakes. There's nothing that really excites and passions those people around them. So we wanted to ensure that we could have something that really generated that level of fun and respect for the artistic process. And we think that, again, artist versus artist really makes that happen. There are 6 rounds. So this is not something that's just you versus someone else and then bam, it's over with. We have so many creators. Plus, we wanted to have so many creators because we wanted to have that procession, that elimination of talent till you get down to the final 2, because that's what makes it really thrilling and fun. Rule number 6, each week we will have 2 rounds per, meaning that there'll be a minimum of 2 days between each contest. So that means there should be more days than that, and I can tell you there will be more days in between each round, but the bottom line is that if you're an artist and you are going to go through this process for the next 3 weeks, you can expect to basically have some aspect of creativity that you're producing for this contest, every couple of days, basically. Rule number 7, we will announce the dates and rankings of each round by midnight, March 15th, 2016. Well, today, of course, is March 15th. It's not 11:59 p.m., but I already know the rankings and know the dates, and we will be displaying those exclusively in this video in just a few moments. Rule number 8, contestants will be expected to have their images, their artwork sent to us for use in the next round by 11:59 p.m. the night before the next round. So, for example, if the next round begins on March 17th and the day is March 15th, we will need to have your image submitted to us that you will compete with the other artists against by March 16th. Now, I know it says something different here, but if we're going to begin on March 17th. That's the first round. So if the first round is March 17th, March 16th by 11:59 p.m. on March 16th, not midnight, not 12:01, not 11:59 the next day, but 11:59 p.m. March 16th, we expect to have all the first entries in from the first round of contestants. So now you're asking about those entries and what you need to do with those entries and so forth. Well, rule number 9 is that you will send only JPEGs. They will be high-res 300 DPI files. What's not listed here, but it will be added, is that they have to have a maximum of 2 megabytes. We will not take files that are 15 and 16 megabyte files. It can only be a maximum of 2 megabytes. And then you need to label this piece of artwork with your name, the round number, And that's how you would share it with us via Dropbox. So what does that mean? That means if you were to submit an image of, let's say, Naruto, and that Naruto image needs to say, and let's just use me, for example, it would say Frederick Jones, which is my name, RD1, which is round one. And then, of course, the file system would automatically tag it .jpeg, either JPEG or JPJ. And that's how you have to label your files. Now, we see in test flight many times that this step seems to get missed by people. And I'm hoping that this competition, this will not happen. That we'll have people who comprehend enough to know not to actually follow the rules all the way through. It is impossible to keep track of even 10 or even 5 creators, hell, even 5 creators when we do not know what the name of the file is. Naming the file, the name of the, like just naming it Naruto .jpeg does not help us. We don't know who it's from. We don't know if it's meant for this round or the next round or what. We have no idea. So make it easier on yourself. Make it easier on us. Label each submission that you send with your name, the round number. So which round is it that you're submitting this for? And that's it. And you don't have to, you can spell out ROUND for round, or you can do RD1 or RD2 or RD3. There's 6 rounds. If you make it to all 6 rounds, you would have the final would be Frederick Jones RD6. It's that simple. Last but not least, the images must be shared via Dropbox. Now, I've got my cursor here, and you see the Dropbox lit up, turn red in the copy. This is a hyperlink. Use this hyperlink to go to Dropbox. It is always amazing to me when we do test flights how people, again, vast majority of young people, unfortunately, I know this is a generalization, but the vast majority of young people don't read and don't comprehend. So, it's not shocking to me that they see all this text and their eyes blaze over. But at the same time, if you can't read all this stuff and comprehend it, it's not going to bode well for you having an artistic career. Trust me. It means you're not going to go to read contracts. You're not going to read scripts. So you might want to rethink what you're trying to do in life if you want to be an artist. But stuff like this makes your head roll. Read the stuff. In this case, hit the link for Dropbox. And then when it takes you to the Dropbox website, if you've never used Dropbox, sign up. If you've never used Dropbox, go to Google and just Google Dropbox. Again, I'm constantly amazed at people who will send us a note on the last day their stuff is due and say, hey, I would send it, but I don't know how to use Dropbox. This is the internet age. All of you kids are a hell of a lot younger than I am, trust me. So I expect you all to know how to use a computer. Go to Google Dropbox, watch a YouTube video on how to use Dropbox. There's no excuse not to figure out how to use Dropbox. It literally is one of the simplest procedures out it astonishes me when people struggle with that. If you want to make $50, it's not my job to teach you how to use Dropbox. Figure out how to use Dropbox by using your noggin. Rule number 10, submissions will be banned and the creators will be ejected from the tournament. I hate to say this will happen, but I guarantee you, just based on stuff we've done in the past, that this will happen. Number 1, stolen images. If you submit a stolen image, an image that belongs to another artist, and we find out, you're out. Number 2, if the image is old, if this image is an image that you've already used before, you've done, it's in your portfolio, yada, 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 we want all these images to be original and exclusive. So if you're not creating new content like your peers, then it's not a fair competition. It's kind of like doing steroids. So if you submit an old image to us and we discover that it's an old image, then you're out. If your image contains nudity or graphic violence, I need to put sex in there as well, although it should go without saying. But if your image contains nudity, graphic violence, and or sex, you'll be banned and you'll be ejected. We've ejected people before for lewd images, and we're a very progressive company. I'm extremely progressive as an individual. We have characters who are LGBT, we have characters who are various races and ethnicities, have no issue with sex or nudity or those things. But, for stuff like this, that would be inappropriate. Likewise, it goes without saying, given how diverse we are, that if we see content that is deemed racist or bigoted, you're out. Have no time to give that sort of opportunity to people who wish to harm other people for existing. Number 5, and this is a big one, I expect some people will totally screw this up. Feature your own characters. If you use this contest to try to get your own characters some play, then you're out. The contest is specifically about fan art. It's all about fan art. So if you're using this to try to sell us on your manga opus that we maybe have never decided to go with in the first place, then we would take offense to that and you'd be out. Last but not least, if these images are distributed to any location, site, and/or profile during this tournament. Now, let me say there's a caveat to this, which we will discuss in a minute, but that's pretty much it. Now, that caveat is rule number 11. And again, I see a change here that needs to be made, but Saturday AM will display the content. And we've been asked, okay, well, how does the content get out there? Well, we distribute the content. We've got it set up. We've got to have a really efficient process where we'll put the images up of the creators for that round. They'll be up on the site, and we'll make it very clear. We'll promote it. We're going to spend money to promote it, and people will be encouraged to come onto the site and vote for the creator that they like. So we are going to be handling all of the art scenario with the stuff that you submit to us. That being said, we do hope that you will publicize it. Now, publicizing it means that you can publicize it on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. And under those scenarios, we will certainly be happy for you to assist in publicizing the content. So once we've approved it and once we run it, then you are then free to then post your image and say, hey, I'm trying to win $50. Here's my image and I'm hoping it will help me get to the next round. Please go to this location and vote. And you can use hashtags and so forth to do so. Rule number 12, points are awarded for the following tactics. So this is something I'm particularly extremely excited about, is how we actually are managing this particular contest. I'm extremely excited about this because this is really where it gets awesome. This is where it really gets cool. Again, like I said, there are other art contests out there, and I mean, first of all, they're not contests; they're just other art things out there. You see it on Facebook where this artist and that artist are trying to be homeboys or whatever, and post each other's artwork, and that's cool. But this is totally different. We're going for something that's meant to be really, really exciting and really challenge people in a unique way. But what makes it even cooler is how we're actually trying to encourage the art itself. So what we're going to do is award points, not based off of who's just a kick-ass artist, because if that's the case, we've got some of the best artists in the industry, some of the best artists online. Andrea Boros of Sagami and White Manga of Apple Black alone would destroy most competitions. So we are giving a real shot for creativity and artistic expression by setting this really unique, exclusive, I could say patented, but I can't, process that we developed. Number 1, you will be awarded points for your submissions if they have color. So you can submit something in black and white, but if you really want to, make the most of your chance against maybe a more talented artist, then you will submit something in color. You can submit something in spot color. You can submit something in full color. You can submit something that's full color with Copic markers. You can submit something that's full color in digital. You can submit something in full color as watercolor. Bottom line is that we're going to take all of those things into account and award points for color. So if a supreme artist like White Manga submits an image that's black and white, and you submit an image that is in full color using Copic markers, and the Copic your use of Copic markers is extraordinary because Copic markers are very hard, but you do it in a way that's really awesome, you're going to get points in that area over the more talented artists. Number 2, Points are awarded for being new. Now, I've already said you can't submit an old image. So what does this mean? Well, this means that if you did a new image in round one and it was so damn good that you're like, you know what, I got something coming up. I've got a death in the family, or I've got a major test coming up, or I'm going on vacation. Even though I'm going to be able to do the contest over 6 weeks, but you know what? I've got something coming up where I just can't break from that, but I still want to compete in this competition. I think I can compete in this competition. I know I'm a badass artist, so I've got this one new image that I did for the first round. I know it's going to kill. It's just awesome. It's really, really clever. It's all these cool things. I'm going to submit that image, and then if I win that round, I'm just going to resubmit that image for the next round because I think it's so good, it's going to beat whatever someone else does following up after that person I beat the first round. If you have it like that, that's perfect too. We're not going to stop you. We're not gonna say no, you can't do that. We think that's perfectly fine. There's some artists who are just that damn good. However, because we do want to encourage artists to develop that ability to have pressure and to work under pressure, then we're going to give you points for being new. So while you might not, again, match someone else's ability who's really talented, if you're clever and you're using all these various opportunities to gain points, you will find yourself at an advantage over that more talented creator. Number 3, you get points for fan response. Now, this will not be a massive point addition, but this is going to be a pivotal point addition for some people. It might be the thing that pushes them over the hump. It might be the thing that gives them a fighting chance in the first place. But as we said earlier, we're going to make a big deal about this on our site, in our magazine, on our webcomics, all this various stuff. We're going to be promoting this. And you guys know we promote stuff like nobody's business. So we're going to be promoting this. As we promote this, and you then turn around and you take, and your image is in the next round, you say, you know what, hey, okay, I just saw that Saturday M's got my image up there. I've got 24 hours to try to get some votes because hopefully I can swing some point totals in my direction for fan response. Then it's your job to then go out there and tweet with the hashtag of March Art Madness or at Saturday_AM for our Twitter feed. Go out there and blast it. You can blast it on Twitter. You can blast it on Facebook. You can blast it on Instagram or Snapchat. Blast it. Get people to come vote for your image because that may be the thing that gets you out the door. So let me give you a perfect example. If you're number 2 and you had an image the first time that was so damn good, and you're like, you know what, I just don't have it in me to go to put an image together for a second round. Or you're thinking strategically, you're thinking, you know what, I got 3 really kick-ass ideas, so I'm not sure I can do more than 3, but I know I got 3 really good ideas. So if I can just do one image and have it cover me for 2 rounds of image, then man, I could really be rolling with something. So if I do that, then I'm going to then maximize number 3 because I know that I'm not going to get any points for the image being new in round 2 if I run round 1. So I'm going to really maximize fan response in number 3, and I'm going to go to town getting friends and family and so forth to come onto the site and vote for me. Last rule is number 4, and that is topical. And this one is the je ne sais quoi, if you will, of this entire process. This is the one that I think is going to really be the part that is difficult for some people to get, and at the same time is going to offer the most opportunity. And so from that standpoint, what makes this one so unique and so critical is that at the end of the day, art, each one of these rules is really testing, like I said, a skill set of your artwork, right? The color is testing your ability to generate color. The new is testing your ability to work under deadlines and pressure. The fan response is testing your ability to actually understand how to promote yourself and marketing. These are all skills that you frankly have to have if you want to be a member of Saturday AM. But the last one is the part that is so unique about the Saturday AM creators, because the Saturday AM creators who succeed are the ones who understand what's happening in the world. I want to give you an example. In pilot manga, we had Frederick Ward. Frederick Ward was our very first test flight 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago. And it was July 2014, I believe. And Frederick Ward, artistically stuff, I love Frederick stuff. It's very fun. It's very quirky. It's a kind of animation, comic booky art like, but it's not like, as dynamic, if you will, as white manga. This is a different style. And me being old, I love all the styles. But obviously the younger you get, you're not exposed or have enough of an education in different art. So you tend to kind of go for the flashy stuff. So you go for White or Christopher Crady or Leonardo Massif and stuff like that. What was so great about Frederick, though, was that there was a cleverness to his art. There was a real cleverness to how he was able to generate the things he did from art. And so even though there were some artists who maybe had some more raw talent or more dynamic ability than Frederick, his inventiveness with how he was able to actually use his art and even the themes that he was playing with in his art made him a contender to win the first test flight that we did. It ultimately went to a young lady named Philippa Borman, but I believe Comet Man, his comic Comet Man, was a runner-up. Frederick then ran it inside of Saturday Plus, our digital magazine, successfully, and now it's a regular series. And you'll actually see an update for it today, later this afternoon on our website. So his superhero is French. She's female. She's a teenager, and she becomes a superhero, right? When the attacks happened in Paris, when the Paris terror attacks happened, Frederick, we all felt solidarity. We all felt like, we needed to say something about it. And you remember that a lot of people, you may have seen this on Facebook, they did this thing where they posted they put a filter on their profile pic so it had the French national colors on it. We always want to do things differently with Saturday M, and we wanted to, the same way that Marvel would make sure that Spider-Man was, there for 9/11, or Superman was there for 9/11. We wanted to, because we published a comic strip about a French female superhero. We wanted to make sure that we paid proper respect to it in our way. And so we generated an image, Frederick generated an image of Comet Man, Christine, the main character, flying over Paris and kind of looking sad. That sort of ingenuity and sort of topical understanding of the world, if you're a storyteller, if you're a serious storyteller, it's critical. You can't just live in a box. This is one reason why, manga is so difficult to translate into, Hollywood box office. We see American superheroes killing it around the world. I highly doubt we'll see that. We certainly didn't see that with the Attack on Titan movie. And I think a lot of it's because A, they lack diversity. And then B, the culture that's demonstrated in a lot of manga is so insular and just kind of not really respective of the rest of the world that it ends up being something that's really unique and really fascinating to watch, but it just doesn't appeal to the vast majority of people the way that a lot of Western content does. And so, I'm a big believer. You've got to be well-read. You've got to be topical. You've got to be someone who understands what's happening around the world in all sorts of things. And so we want to see that aspect of it. And that aspect, frankly, is going to be one of the definitive things that actually enables the creator, I think, to pass into the next round, is their ability to really have a sense of topical understanding. So we talk about politics. That could be a topical thing. You could do an image about Donald Trump as a Dr. Doom style villain, or Hillary Clinton if you hate Democrats, whatever. Video games. You could do something about Fallout, or Street Fighter, or Skyrim, or whatever. Superheroes. We know Batman versus Superman and Captain America Civil War are out right now. You could do an image about, again, I've seen artists, immediately after the Civil War trailer came out with more Black Panther and the first appearance of Spider-Man, they were drawing all these images of Spider-Man and so forth. And I kept thinking, I'm like, it'd be great to see them do something that wasn't literally just a scene from the movie, just drawn, because I'd rather watch the movie image than look at a drawn image of it, but do something that really reflected what we saw, but maybe with some new things thrown in there, with some new perspective or new ideas put in there. You could do Batman versus Captain America. So there's all sorts of stuff you could do to kind of capitalize on what's happening on the top of it with superheroes, whether it's the movies or the comics or whatever. Sports, we have, right now, we have the UEFA Champions League happening, I think, right as I'm talking. And then March Madness, as I just talked about with the NCAA basketball, that begins, I think, tonight. So these are 4 areas, but of course you can do anime, manga, but again, we're looking for you to be topical and inventive So just drawing an image of Saitama from One Punch Man, just looking dopey with his superhero suit on, that's great. It might be a really, really cool image of Saitama just standing there. But if someone else comes along and draws a picture that really makes you think or shows the character in a new light or does something really dynamic with it, then that's going to appeal to us more. That's going to get more points. So last two rules. Eventually it will come down to the final two. This effort with the final two, we're going to treat it just like a championship game. And this one will be a live YouTube event. And it'll be a one-off presentation. We're going to basically say, look, here's what you've got. This is the image that you need to draw, and they're going to draw it live. We're going to have it happening live via Hangout. And then you all and we will vote on the winner during that live episode. And the winner will get their $50, and the runner-up will get something too. So that's it, folks. Those are the rounds. Those are the rounds. Those are the rules, I mean, for how the rounds happen and all the things, what we're looking to do. So it's quite a lot of cool stuff there. And again, we're very excited about all the things that we're thinking we can pull off with this contest, but that is a lot of the core information right there. Now, I'm going to before I present the rankings and the dates for these contests, I'm going to just check and see if we do have any questions. Again, if you have questions, you can contact us on Facebook. You can contact our Facebook fan page, which is www.facebook.com/SaturdayAM. You can contact us on our Pilot Manga Facebook fan page. If you're a member of Pilot Manga, then you already are a member of that. You can post a comment or question there. If you've got the Hangout application, you can post a comment on Hangouts. There's a Q&A section there that you can use, or you can use a straight up chat window. Last but not least, if you're watching this on our website and have it accessed through YouTube, you can post something via YouTube. Now I'm going to check again for some questions and comments. If you've got any, I'll answer those before we take a small break and talk a bit more about Saturday AM, and then I will reveal the rankings and the rounds and the dates for those rounds. All right, so let's see. So we have all right. Okay. So far, again, we've got a lot of excitement generated. No questions today. I've answered the questions that were in that had been submitted prior to this. I've already answered those. Let's see here. All right. So just look if we've got any new questions. So again, if you've got any, feel free to drop a line to us. I do want to take this opportunity just to advise again who we are for anyone who's new. I'm sure most of the individuals here are not new, but we are Saturday AM. My name is Frederick Jones, and I'm the founder and publisher of this brand. The company's called My Footprint Entertainment, and we are a global entertainment company focused and dedicated to bringing diversity to the manga anime aesthetic and producing new content built for the smartphone generation. So if you come to our site, really there's two key things to keep in mind. Number one is that if you want to support us, there are several ways to do it. We have magazines. We produce a digital magazine anthology. We actually produce two of them. Saturday AM is, of course, is our core digital magazine, and it is $1.99 an issue. It typically features anywhere from 2 to 3 of our core series, if not more, per issue. It also has really cool interviews with some of the top digital creators across film, music, and comics/manga/webcomics. This is the latest issue that's available to purchase. Again, it's $1.99. It actually comes with our second magazine we published called Saturday Plus, issue number 16. You can see here again, it's just $1.99. If you want to subscribe, we offer 2 subscriptions. The first one is $5 a year. And for that $5 a year, you're guaranteed to get 20 issues. Now, folks, If you can see here, we're at issue 42. So again, like I said, I don't sometimes, woe is me, I guess, but I don't think we get nearly the respect that we deserve, even amongst other digital magazines and our webcomic creators, because we've made it to 42 issues, and we've been publishing consistently bi-weekly with minimum breaks in between for the last 2 years. You don't get to 42 issues in 2 years unless you've been rolling, kicking ass. And that's where we are. So this is the beginning of our 3rd year, and we're just pleased as hell that we've actually gotten this far. Again, 20 issues for $5 a year. People thought we were crazy, and yet somehow you all have really embraced it. And we've got fans. We're active in over 34 countries, so we're really, really excited about where we are with it. We also offer a premium subscription. This gives you access to Saturday Plus magazine. This gives you access to a T-shirt. Again, it's only in U.S. and Canada we send a T-shirt out. You get a membership cards. You can get 15% off on things. We have changed some of this slightly and included things like tutorials and interviews and stuff like that versus the 3 limited edition trading cards. We're probably not going to be able to do those. We've tried desperately to get these trading cards out. They will come out this year, but trying to get them done for the people who've been subscribing with us for over a year and our premium subscribers is very difficult. So we're going to instead delay that and instead make sure that the stuff we currently do, such as providing early access to Saturday Plus, getting the T-shirts available and stuff like that, will be able to happen. We offer season packs. You can get these at really low rates. Again, if you were to buy each individual previous issue with 42 issues, if you bought all of our old issues, but at the regular issue price, you would be spending well over $80. With this, you truncate that amount significantly. So you can get season packs. The first season pack is $7.50. That includes the first 5 issues, and then subsequent season packs from there are $5. We will be debuting season packs for last year, so season 5 and season 6, which will cover basically issues 21 through 30. Those will start to be available later this week. You can see here all the amazing back issues. Again, we didn't just talk about getting here and somehow screw our way through it. These are amazing original covers featuring series and/or creators that are exclusive to Saturday AM. Each issue is filled with interviews and insights into digital content and digital creators. These are full-fledged magazine, folks, with incredible design. And you can get each one of these issues for $1.99 or subscribe and get 20 issues a year for $5. One other thing I want to showcase that you can do to support us is that we do have a store. And this store is called Marketplace, and it's the only location where you can find official exclusive items dedicated to both the creators and the series that are exclusive to Saturday AM. So if you love Monster Society of America and you want people to know you love it, if you love Apple Black and want people to know, or Bully Eater or Saigami, then you can buy the T-shirts right here. They start at $20. These are high-end T-shirts. I sported one in our last live YouTube video for our test flight. We're going to be doing more of that. We're going to be actually getting people to wear our T-shirts. So we're really excited about the possibilities of what we're doing. And again, if you support our T-shirts, you're supporting our creators. You can see here more graphic tees with really cool sayings and statements and unique images. And again, this sort of inventiveness that you see here on these shirts here, like the Bully Eater, Fight Hard, Win Even Harder, or Keep Calm and Saturday AM, these are the sort of inventiveness that you have to have for the topical part of this contest. Last but not least are the Saturday Tanks. These are actual physical print books, graphic novels, collecting the adventures or the first arcs of many of our top titles. Currently, we have 4 available: Apple Black Volume 1, Saigami Volume 1, Bully Eater Volume 1, Z Forever Volume 1. We hope soon to have Storybook Volume 1 and Spoon Volume 1. And I can tell you that Islanders Volume 1 and Volume 2s of many of these series will be available later this year. So we're really excited about what we've got happening on the book side. The books have gotten fantastic praise. Apple Black Volume 1 is actually in the top 100 of manga on Amazon. These are fantastic books, folks. So if you get a chance, support the creators, buy the books, show off the love of Saturday AM in your home on your favorite bookshelf. All right, and last thing I'll say about Saturday AM is that we also offer lots of free manga. We have a huge website, plenty of places to explore and things to check out. In our Read Manga section, you'll find all of our series that we publish available for you to actually check out content. So you can go onto the site and you actually can access Bully Eater and Saigami and Apple Black and Islanders. You can at least get 1 to 4 chapters of some of these popular series. Some series are exclusive webcomics like Spoon and Storybook and Remedium Plus, Z Forever, Comet Man. These series are only on the website, and you can go on the website, get these series. Spoon and Storybook both are on chapter 37. Chapter 37. So you can literally go back and spend entire weekends discussing and discovering this amazing content. And it's exclusively on our website. So that's all I wanted to show. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to check. I think we got a few questions in, and then we will go to the bracket, which I know is the main thing everyone's waiting to check out, is the bracket. So bear with me for just a moment. Let me pull up that information, and we can go from there. Okay, so we got a couple of questions here. All right. So let me start off with Stephen Alcade asks, can the entries be a historical piece? And the answer to that is, of course. Again, I can kind of consider historical pieces as political or topical. I think that, though, or political, frankly. I mean, what historical figure are you talking about that doesn't involve politics in some way? So I think, I think that that's perfectly fine. And again, if it's relevant, if you're doing an image of just if you do an image, for example, of Abraham Lincoln, I would hope that you're doing something with Abraham Lincoln that is a commentary on where we are today, whether it's about race or whether it's about the state of the U.S. elections, or if it's something about something he may have talked about famously and how that may apply to this new world of cell phones and or anime, manga, or whatever. As long as it has a reason to exist, it absolutely can be a historical piece. It's perfectly fine. Let's see. We also got a question from Vinny Sandens. Vinny Sandens is saying that he has a Dropbox, but he's never used it before. So how does the file sharing work? Is it like Google Drive? And it is like Google Drive. I mean, for all intents and purposes, all file sharing is essentially the same. You basically click on sharing it, and then you type in the information regarding the individual you want to share it to, and then it would send it to an individual. In our case, info@saturday-am.com. So I think the key thing here, though, Vinny, just to be clear, is that you're asking a question that's already been answered. So, and my question is, you got Dropbox and you've never experimented with it, then again, this is the question that can be answered by you. Go do a little research. Find out, because I can tell you that it's very simple. I can tell you that it's just like Google Drive. I can tell you all these things. If you're not actually trying to do it yourself, then it's kind of like trying to tell my parents how to use computer technology. It's very obvious how to use it, but you may or may not understand how to use it for various reasons. You have to be the one to explain it to yourself, because it just never works when someone else tries to explain it to you. If you're not saying the same things that we're saying, then it just doesn't make any sense. So, Dropbox is a huge company. They're a popular company. We actually pay for access with Dropbox. So it's really not that hard to try to get the information you need about Dropbox. Okay, so let's see here. I think that's all we got for that. So I am going to now pull up. The bracket so you guys can see me here. I'm wearing a Texas hat. I lived in Texas for a while. Also, I'm wearing a Saturday AM shirt, so you can see there. Nice big shirts with the Saturday AM footprint. So if you want to support Saturday AM, feel free to do so. So anyway, let's. I love how my room is just so super dark here. It makes me look incredibly dark. But anyways, all right. Well, let's get back to it then. Let's jump into it, and let's do the let's roll with the bracket. Again, if you have questions, feel free feel free to post them. You can do so. Actually, that's not right. Let's get rid of that. Okay. All right, guys. I think we're about ready to get started here. And again, guys, if you have questions, feel free to post them. You can post them on our Facebook fan page, which is www.facebook.com/Saturday AM, one word. If you're a member of our Pilot Manga group, you can post it on Pilot Manga, and so on. You can do so on YouTube. You can do so here within the app for Google Hangouts. So there's quite a few ways you can do it, and I'll certainly be checking. This is the bracket. I know it's not the prettiest looking thing in the world. We don't have the world's biggest budget, but this is the bracket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's see here. Let's see if I can't. Good. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to make sure I've got the names of all the creators so I can make sure I'm reading the thing properly. So what we have is 4 quadrants, and they're led by leaders. The leaders will be Saturday AM talent. And by this, I mean creators who are actively producing content for Saturday AM in one level or another. So the leaders basically dominate each quadrant. There are 4 quadrants, 48 participants, and the leaders therefore then are responsible. I mean, they're not responsible, but they are kind of like the big fish to kick off. We expect them to be the core talent throughout here. As you guys know, again, we have nearly 30-some creators working on content for us across the spectrum. So the fact that we just have 4 means that they're going to be talented, but they're not going to be. It's not going to be a dominating experience. There's more of you than there are of them. So again, if you use all the rules to your advantage, you have a chance to beat them. So March 17th is round 1. Jose L. Rodriguez will take on Frank Ferguson. Yao Lovato will take on Lawrence Lustaban. Brandon Gresbian will take on Vinny Sandins. Justin Cabeza de Vaca will take on Travis Mason. Now on March 20th, the kind of our group leaders, those people who are ranked higher because they are either working with Saturday AM or have worked with Saturday AM, they will be taking on the winner of those groups. So they get the first round off, and that consists of the leader A, which we will announce at a later date. We will announce certainly by March 17th. So leader A will take on Jose Rodriguez and Frank Ferguson. Whoever wins that matchup. Whoever wins Yao Lovato and Lawrence Lustaton will take on Chiara Reddy. Whoever wins Brandon Griesban and Vinny Sandins contest will take on Jaime Molina. Whoever wins Justin Cabeza de Vaca and or Travis Mason's contest will take on David Artbook Johnson. Continuing on with round 1, we have in the second grouping, we have Zowie Kaharchek. He will take on Noah Webster. And whoever wins that contest will take on leader B, who we will announce on March 17th. I'm sorry, we'll announce that on March 17th or 18th. Christian Sandino will take on Tyler DeBerry, and whoever wins that contest will take on Miles O'Brien. Keith Williams will take on Jewishki Dislogis, and whoever wins that contest will take on Brandon Treadway. Tian Hating, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, I hope, will take on Steffi Lewis. Whoever wins that contest will take on Alan Ventura. Continuing with round one, Group C. Give me a second here. I'm going to actually scroll down a little bit so I've got the names of everybody. Okay. So Group C, Michelle Lopez will take on, actually, give me a second here. Let me make sure I've got the, give me 1 second, guys. I need to check one thing here. Right, okay. So Michelle Lopez will take on Mustafa Hakam. Samuel Gata will take on William Collier. Robert Trujillo Reed will take on, and here it's written as Courtney, but she was one of the artists who backed out. He will now be taking on Chitulu Hernandez. Adam Thomas will take on Wesley Lindsay. I'm sorry, Robert Trujillo Reed. Robert Trujillo Reed in the contest above, and Courtney. And Chitulu Hernandez. The winner of that group will take on Kalani Corbett. Adam Thomas will take on Wesley Lindsay, and the winner of that group will take on Nathan Alhonda. Finally, in Group D, Dejan Tularchevik will take on Samari Crossan. Bert Arcio will take on Selwer Farizi. Josh Pottis, sorry about that, I keep messing this up. Dejan Tularchevik will take on Samari Crossan. The winner of that contest will take on Leader D, who will announce between March 17th and March 20th. Bert Arcio will take on Selwer Farizi, and that contest will then produce a winner who will take on Kamani Jackson. Josh Pottis will take on McClam Changemeyer, and whoever wins that contest will take on Stephen Alcade. One of my favorite names in all of pilot manga, Zaft Sumori. Love that name. That's like a manga name. Zaft Sumori will take on Ahmed Ashraf, and the winner of that contest will take on Zabreen Banawan. And those are the matchups. Again, I will make this list available on the Pilot Manga page later tonight. We will have the change made that is Courtney Weathers changing into Chitulu Hernandez. The dates for each round are March 17th for round one. Round two, which begins with several of the ranked talent now coming into the competition to take on the winners of the first round, that will happen on March 20th. On March 23rd will be round three. March 26th will be round four, which will be essentially the Great Eight. March 29th is the final four, the semifinal round, the four finalists. And then April 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the contest between the winners of each respective division. They will take each other on in a live contest April 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They will be given something unique to draw, and they will have to do so, and then it'll be voted on and all that stuff within the hour by all of us, and we'll choose the winner, and they will receive the $50, and the runner-up will receive a prize as well. All right, everybody, that's it. So I hope everyone is as stoked as I am. I mean, just reading this, I got even more excited because I mean it doesn't get much better than this. This is really fun, awesome Saturday AM type stuff. This is just really, really cool, fun. I can't wait for people to take a shot at trying to get their stuff out there. This is going to be awesome. So again, I'm going to give about 5 more minutes. If there are any additional questions related to Saturday AM, Pilot Manga, or the March Art Madness contest competition. Again, very, very, very excited about the possibilities of this. It's our first one. Please help make this a success, because if it's a success, literally the stuff that we can do with it in the second year and beyond is going to blow your mind. Everything from, real prizes, like bigger prizes, bigger and better prizes, sponsorships. I mean, we can really make this something special. So you guys have always helped us take our unique ideas and make them successes, make other people notice us. And I have no doubt that with this contest, you guys will rise to the occasion again. So again, if you got questions, please get them into me quickly, because we're essentially done, and I'm pretty much done. So if you got questions, send them to me. I did see one question come through, so I want to address that. I'll be looking to see if there's any other questions as well. One of the questions that came through just now was from Kara Reddy. She says, regarding a live event, how controversial can your entry be? Since we're all from different parts of the world, we're exposed to different pop culture and especially different takes on politics and society. That's a really good question, Kara. And, I'm going to say something that will be controversial. But when I started the company, one of the things I made clear to everybody was that we follow Western standards. We follow Western standards of what we do. And the reason has always been really simple, because, our Western stuff is more popular everywhere around the world. So, when you look at content and you look at, celebrities, whether it's sports stars, the average sports take place in America. LeBron James is famous around the world. I mean, Lionel Messi is famous around the world, but athletes who only are active in the United States are famous around the world. Musicians who are only really active in the United States are famous around the world. Actors who produce movies that are traditionally in the United States are famous around the world. There's a reason for that. And, I've kind of taken that mentality on with how we view content as well. As I said at the very beginning, I've heard all these arguments for why the Japanese do not put more people of color in manga and anime, even though manga and anime is one of the biggest exports out of Japan, meaning it travels everywhere around the world. And if that was American movies or TV shows or video games traveling around the world, you can best believe, and it has happened, of course, we know it has happened, that we'd be asked to make things more diverse and make them more sustainable in other communities. So again, I feel that needs to be the way we follow things here. I don't know what would be considered controversial in another country, versus the United States, but I know that, we're okay with the things that we do. So, you'd have to maybe send me an example of what you think it might be. But, obviously if the humor, as I said before, if the image can be deemed controversial because you would be doing something that would be racist or deemed racist or bigoted, while it might be acceptable in another culture, it wouldn't be acceptable here. And so that would be a non-starter for us. If it would be disrespectful to a group of individuals, if it would be something that would be maybe disrespectful to women, which have different cultural rights in different parts of the world, well, we eschew to the more Western view, which are that women have equal rights in a large part of the way that we view things. So I would not want to see an image that basically has a woman being sexually degraded because it's considered okay in another part of the world. So I'm not sure what would be controversial, to us, and then not controversial somewhere else, or vice versa. But I do know that, again, I think most people have an understanding of what Americans and what Western society views as being acceptable behavior, and that's kind of what we expect to see. You wouldn't do an image of Spider-Man, doing something lewd, and we would certainly not expect that either. This is fan art, by the way, as well. And again, most of the properties that we're talking about are Western in nature. So if you were going to present someone and do so in a way that could be deemed controversial in the West, then that would certainly be an issue. Conversely, I would be very shy and very much against someone using the Prophet Muhammad and trying to make some political statement about the Prophet Muhammad when we know that is something that has been deemed to be very controversial. I would be very much against that, and frankly, any religious figure. So again, I would just suggest that people follow the rules that are standard in most parts of the world that tend to have more of a basis in Western thought, and try to apply those to what you do. All right, so I think that's all the questions. I don't see any other questions. I'm just going to do a quick cursory check of the stuff that we've got just to make sure, but I believe that is everything. Okay. Okay. I believe that is it. Yeah, it looks like that might be it. I'm just checking the last part here. Okay, yeah, I think that's it, guys. So again, really excited. This is going to be a really amazing contest. You will find everything you need on the Pilot Manga page of our website. Just the address is right there at the bottom. You will have this image will be uploaded onto the site. It'll be, there so you can see exactly who you're taking on. Again, let me just go back to the rule that I stated earlier, guys. If you've been selected and you are not a member of Pilot Manga, you need to submit to us an example of your art tonight. Do so by 11:59 p.m. tonight. Send us an image via Dropbox, just like you would do throughout the contest. Send us an image or a JPEG of yourself so that we have some ability to be able to hold something accountable in behalf of the artwork that you submit. This is critical, and I can't state this enough. This is absolutely critical that you do so. Short of that, make sure you get your entries in, a day or so before. Those of you who are in Pilot Manga, you know some of these other creators. So if you're taking on some of these creators, then I would suggest that you think about the point system that we've developed and think about how you might be able to take on some of these creators. Because some of these guys, without giving away names, are very, very talented. Some of these guys are test flight winners. So if you're going to take them on, how do you take them on? What can you do to take them on? Do you have the ability to do color art? Do you have a really good topical idea? Are you going to rely on getting friends and family out? And are you going to let them know, hey, you know what? I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need you to make sure that you are going to vote for me throughout this contest. I got some images coming up. I'm going to be taking on some really talented people. This is going to be great, guys. I'm so excited. I hope you guys feel the excitement as well. I'm so excited about this. That's going to be it, guys. Again, look forward to us posting this stuff. Again, when the contest begins, we will be posting the entries on our site. We'll be promoting the heck out of it, so you'll know when we post it. And on each post for each competition between each set of creators, there will be a link for people to vote on the creator. So that's how you'll be able to get your votes in versus the other creator. We, of course, my staff and I will be voting as well. We'll be applying the point system exclusively. So we'll be taking into account everything and making sure we choose the best individual based on all the important factors. Whether or not they're the most talented artist is irrelevant to us. Whether they're the most clever and efficient artist is a heck of a lot more important than how talented they are. So guys, that's it. I cannot wait for this contest to start and to see who comes in at the very end and watch the final contest. This is going to be awesome. Thank you guys for supporting Saturday AM. Please support us by subscribing if you have not subscribed, or by buying one of our Saturday tanks if you haven't bought a tank. Support our creators. Support diversity in manga webcomics. My name is Frederick Jones. Peace.